in Tokyo as we get set for the men's free skate. Warm-ups underway. And there's Emanuel Sandhu. Had a rough short program, but he's tended to follow those with good free skates.
He's come back strongly from some poor short programs twice this season to win those events. So yes, the long program is his strength in this event. However, he's got a very, very deep hole to climb out of, 23 points behind.
And Oda, it's worth mentioning, as a member of this Japanese team, there are 11 singles competitors here in Tokyo, and the Japanese have 5 of them, which just gives you an idea of how deep the singles are, both men and women. Takahashi, yet another member of the Japanese team. He is probably, from the results to this point, the odds-on favorite to be the Japanese man in Turin.
And Jeff Buttle having a rather difficult warm-up. He's fallen several times on the triple axel. And this is the program he really needs to get under his belt. He has yet to really lay down a successful long program.
See.
There he goes down again. And the triple axel really seems to be giving him difficulty.
And the 5th man in this warm-up, Stefan Lambiel, also has difficulty with his triple axel. But Lambiel demonstrated yesterday that he's quite capable of delivering it, as his short program was spectacular.
And Jeff's going to have another go at that axel. And not even close to fully rotating that jump.
So a rough-looking warm-up as we take a look at the standings after the short program. Lambiel, the world champion, in first. Jeffrey Buttle, second place for Canada. The 2 Japanese duking it out over third. And Emanuel Sandhu way down in the basement, almost 25 points off the lead. Well, the skaters are off the ice. We're ready for our first competitor. It is Emanuel Sandhu of Burnaby, BC. 5th, last after the short program. But we've told you he's had some pretty good free skates this year. In fact, he won Skate Canada with a very strong free skate performance and scores second only to Daisuke Takahashi this year. Twice he came back this year in the Grand Prix Series to win his events after week's short program. So let's see what he's got for us here in the Grand Prix final. No pressure on him, and pressure seems to have been his nemesis over the years. This enigmatic skater with so many gifts, yet to reach his potential.
He's actually come into this event extremely prepared. He's had awesome practices. Setting up here for the quad toe, triple toe combination. Doesn't have a lot of attack here. Pops it into a double. And that is just such a huge error not to rotate that jump. At least if you rotate it, you do get some credit.
Psychologically, how important is that first jump?
I think for any skater, it really sets the stage. It immediately sets your mind frame for the balance of the program. He's got to regroup here for this triple axel.
Good comeback.
Connecting steps into a triple Lutz. triple axel. And the very same error as he made in the short program. He slips off the heel on the takeoff. And there's a classic example of the frustration of watching him skate on way too many an occasion. He'll make a mistake like he made on the triple axel, and then he'll come back and rip off 3 very nice triple jumps because he has to force himself to concentrate to get something done that he can score some points with.
Emanuel Sandhu of Canada. Once again, moments of brilliance mixed with abject failure here in the free skate, and you have to wonder if it's back to the drawing board with a couple of months to go to the Olympics.
Well, the big mistake was not rotating those 2 major jumps of the program. The quad toe, turned it into a double. The triple axel was a single. He left 10 to 14 points on the table by not rotating.
That's the very jump, Barb, you're talking about, the quad off the top of the program. It's so important in this new scoring system to rotate the jumps. He demonstrated early in the program that his triple axel is very nice when he pulls the trigger on it. Triple sow. There were numerous quality jumps throughout this program, but when you're playing at this level, with this level of competition, you simply can't make the mistakes he made and expect to gain any ground.
It's better to fall than to not rotate the jump.
So here are the scores for an awfully disappointed Emanuel Sandhu. 60.10 for technical elements. His program components much higher at 71.50, but he's disgusted and will not stick around for the final totals. The early leader here, but this will not stand up in the men's competition. It's about a disappointing Grand Prix final.
A little bit disappointed with the fact that I missed the opening quad, which I've been doing many of on practice and hit a gorgeous one on warm-up, and been hitting it in some form or another in my practices at home. So for me to miss that was a little bit disappointing, but I knew that I had to continue with the rest of the program. But, you know, I think the challenge with that is that, you know, when I hit my opening jump, or anybody does, they feel great, but when you miss it, it's like, oh, okay, so I have to try to get into the rest of the program, and maybe a little bit of spark wasn't there, but you know, it's just something that we have to deal with once in a while.
I guess the one good thing is Sandhu doesn't seem crushed psychologically by that performance, taking a positive attitude as we get set for the first of 2 Japanese skaters in this men's competition. Nobunari Oda, the 18-year-old from Takasuki City. Oda was in 4th place after the short program, right behind his fellow countryman Daisuke Takahashi, the 2 of them in a pitched battle here for a medal and a spot, the lone spot that Japan has in men's competition at the Olympics in Turin. He's had a terrific Grand Prix series, third at Skate Canada, first on home ice in Osaka at the NHK Trophy competition.
Setting up for his opening jump, the triple axel.
Another really, really big mistake here in the men's competition.
Somehow you can forgive Nobunari a little bit more, seeing as this is his very first senior Grand Prix season. He's still very inexperienced. Triple X, triple toed, single loop combination.
Yes, when you consider he won the World Junior Championships just this past spring in Kitchener, Ontario, and here he is looking for a Grand Prix final medal, and he's got his sights set on the Olympics.
Bit of 1 foot work into that triple sow cow. Very smooth double axle, triple toe combination. Very impressed with the knee action that he has through his jumps, both the takeoff and the landing.
One final jump here late in the program at triple Lutz.
Seemed to have settled down after a rocky start.
Sure, this is all a little overwhelming for him, not only competing in the Grand Prix, senior Grand Prix final for the first time, but in front of his home country. An Olympic spot on the line.
Nobunari Oda, the 18-year-old World Junior Champion, with his Grand Prix final debut in Tokyo.
One can never assume that an athlete can simply take the energy of an audience and use it in a positive fashion, but I've been very impressed at this young man's ability to do that here at this competition. Triple, triple, single combination, traveling turns into the triple flip jump. Very impressed with the way he's handled himself here at this event.
Young Oda awaiting his marks, flanked by his mother, who has coached him his entire career, and Staff camera Lee Barkel of Barrie, who he has been seeing for the past year or so. Technical elements, 65.92. And for program components, 64.00. This is going to be better than Sandhu. An overall score of 197.05 will put him in first place, but the three big skaters still to come after Oda. And his chief rival from Japan, Daisuke Takahashi, is next when we free skate at the ISU Grand Prix final. And on the ice, the second Japanese skater of the day, Daisuke Takahashi. He was in third place after the short program, and this is a very important event for both he and Nobunari Oda, because a podium finish here will be very influential on the Japanese Skating Federation's decision as to which male will represent this country at the Olympic Winter Games in Turin. Takahashi with a strong short program, dynamic and powerful, and very confident, getting set now for the free skate.
Daisuke has a quad toe planned to open the program. He's yet to land this quad all season long. And he rotates it, but it goes down.
Triple axle combination scheduled here. Triple axle, double toe. Well done, triple Lutz, triple toe combination.
Struggles to hang on to that triple axle.
His jumps are certainly not the highest we'll see from any of the men at this level of competition, but he's got great speed of rotation. He just snaps and they rotate very, very quickly.
Takahashi has traveled the world to get some of the best international coaching in this sport, and comes into this season with an improved dry land fitness program, spending 4 hours a day working on his fitness.
And you can see that the preparation has paid off. He's in a much more confident state of mind. Therefore, has been far more consistent in his performances this season.
4 hours dry land, 3 hours on the ice. It's a long day at this level.
Great speed in this final spin, and there's just so much to like about this young skater. He's dynamic, he's fast, he's energetic, he's quad capable, does a triple axel. Just the complete package waiting to reach full maturity.
Well, it's often been said it's not the mistake but how you recover, and Daisuke Takahashi showed resilience here today, recovering from a blown quad to open this free skate and turning in a pretty good program.
But for that blown quad, he will receive at least 6 points because he did rotate the jump, unlike Emanuel. You see him get up into the air, nice tight rotational position. He just can't hang on to that landing. But he will receive approximately 6 points for that jump, where Emanuel had just over 2. Here's a look at the triple axel. A little bit stuck on the landing, a little far forward on his toe, but manages.
And here with the strobe effect, you can watch this triple axel as it climbs up into the air, achieves its maximum height, nice tight air position.
Looks like Daisuke needs a drink of water after that effort, as he awaits his score here in the free skate. For technical elements, 67.82. And the scores for program components, 71.10. Will that be enough to put him ahead of Nobunari Oda into third place? Yes, he is currently ranked first overall with 2 skaters to come. So a smile on the face of Daisuke Takahashi of Japan. He has claimed the bronze medal, at least here on home ice in Japan. Still ahead, this man, Canada's Jeffrey Buttle, warming up as he battles for gold. Here in Tokyo, Daisuke Takahashi has a medal and the upper hand in the Japanese selection process for Turin.
I was satisfied with today's performance. I enjoyed it so much. It's close to perfect for myself. I'm so happy I could skate with a smile.
So Takahashi has the lead with Jeffrey Buttle and the leader, Stefan Lambiel of Switzerland, still to come. Buttle in second place after the short program. Terrific short program. Now let's see what he does with the free skate. It's been a struggle for him this season, and there appears to be a delay here as Buttle stands by the boards with Coach Lee Barkell. Not sure what they're looking at behind the boards. Looks like the Japanese coach, one of their coaches, trying to get at something, but a delay for Buttle as he tries to compose himself. So listen for this announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand by while Mr. Jeffrey Buttle is fixing his skate blade.
Oh, so Buttle has a problem with the skate, and he's been handed a screwdriver. So it looks like he's tightening the screws in the bottom of his skate. Maybe that's why he had so many problems in the warm-up.
Somewhat unusual that he would not notice it until just prior to stepping onto the ice to actually compete. And trust me, there's nothing more unnerving standing out there questioning and wondering whether or not your skate blade is going to stay firmly attached to the sole of your boot.
Well, that doesn't breed confidence. So Buttle now trying out the newly tightened skate blade. A few hops. We saw him fall, I think, at least 3 times during the warm-up. His name has been called. He has 2 minutes with which to begin the program, or he's disqualified.
In his 2 Grand Prix events this season, he had difficulties with the very first 2 jumps, the opening quad and the triple axel. So this opening is huge for him.
This has got to be a huge distraction. Jeffrey Buttle trying to compose himself, and he's ready to go with his free skate here at the Grand Prix final.
You have to wonder, with all this distraction, whether he will go ahead and attempt the quad toe off the top.
Certainly appears to be setting up for it.
Triple. And this next jump is the jump that was giving him so many problems in the warm-up. Triple axel, triple toe combination here. Triple axel was very well done. Triple toe loop. He buckled over a little bit on the landing.
Jeffrey's free skate, a tribute to the late Glenn Gould. Selections from the soundtrack, 32 short films on Glenn Gould, and when you hear the piano being played like this is Glenn Gould.
Another triple axel planned right here. Can't hang on to that landing.
A little tight, but he fights for the landing on that triple loop jump.
Buttle's made a change in his training since the Grand Prix in France, working harder for shorter periods of time, and it's all designed to give him more focus in a shorter period of time during his free skate, which has been his trouble this season.
In a best skate scenario, that would have been a triple Lutz, but Jeff already knows that he's exceeded his opportunities to do jumps more than once, and downgrades that triple Lutz into a double.
off the landing of that triple flip. Clearly the jumps are just not feeling good for him tonight.
Brian Joubert of France took a shot at Buttle and at the scoring system when he finished behind the Canadian at the Grand Prix in France. He said the quality of Jeff's skating is good, but he doesn't do the jumps, and you can't be the Olympic champion without doing a quad. What really annoyed Joubert was that he thought he should have been rewarded more for his risk-taking. Jeffrey Buttle of Canada still with some work to be done in this free skate. Second after the short program. Can he hold on to that position here overall?
This is a very high-risk program in that it needs to be skated to near perfection for it to be totally effective. When there are the kind of mistakes made that he has made along the way here today, the whole program really loses its overall impact.
This is the third time out for this program this season, and the third time it's been unsuccessful, so you have to wonder what the strategy will be when they go home to get ready for the national championships.
This was the triple axel, triple toe combination. He puts his hand down on the second jump. Will receive a lower grade of execution because of that mistake.
Yeah, I've already set up for that.
For Jeff Buttle and other North Americans, this Grand Prix final is really the last measure against a top international field before going to Turin. And here are his marks. Technical 63-64. For program components 74.70. Nicely rewarded there. And his free skate total 138.34 for an overall score of 214.34. So Buttle has guaranteed himself at least the silver medal here in the Grand Prix final with the world champion Stefan Lambiel of Switzerland still to come here in Tokyo. Lambiel, gold in March in Moscow, looking for gold in Tokyo here in the Grand Prix final. He's next.
Called my name. I had done a double axel and then sort of felt like my blade had shifted a bit, so I just checked it just out of habit, and it was really loose. So I went to the boards hoping that Lee would have a screwdriver. He usually does, but he got it confiscated, so he had to run and grab one from the Japanese doctor. So I was able to tighten it up before I skated, but it took a bit of time.
How much did you lose in the warm-up? How much time?
In the warm-up itself, I hadn't noticed. I just figured it was a bad warm-up. So I got off the ice and didn't think anything of it. I just basically tried to forget about the warm-up completely. It wasn't until right before they called my name that I had realized that the blade was loose.
Jeffrey Buttle making no excuses, but you have to know that must have been a huge distraction before the free skate. Well, the gold is there for the taking for the world champion, Stefan Lambiel of Switzerland, the final skater here in the men's free program. Launched himself onto the world scene with a gold medal in Moscow in March after a terrible year in which he had knee surgery, missed 10 months of competition, broke up with his girlfriend, broke up with his coach, got back with his coach, and everything worked out. Now a chance for gold in the Grand Prix.
Triple axel is the jump that gives him most problems.
He had a rough warm-up too. Down heavily.
And straight away he has to gather his composure to set up for this quad toe. That jump is like money in the bank for him.
What a great display of how strong a competitor he is. Just to show the first one was no fluke.
There's the second.
Little lack of concentration there as he allows the triple flip to get away from him. Steps out of the landing. Yet another triple-triple combination, this time a triple Lutz, triple toe. Lesson for every skater. You have to realize that your audience wants to become an active participant in your performance, and when you've got music that allows them to do that, it just increases and enhances the entire experience for everyone in the rink, and that is not lost on a judging panel.
A robust free skate for the world champion Stefan Lambiel of Switzerland, recovering nicely after an early fall in the triple axel.
And this will be a big boost of confidence for him going into the Europeans and the Olympic Games, because he did have some disappointing results and performances earlier in the season. This will really get the ball rolling for Stefan.
You have to remember, it's all about the peak performance at the right time. You certainly don't want to leave your best skate of the season somewhere along the Grand Prix circuit. Here was that opening triple axel. I give him full credit for attempting it right in front of the judges, but it has to be unnerving. But the quad was shown to be clearly in his comfort zone today, with not one, but two of them along the way.
And that sets up for a nice rivalry with Evgeny Plushenko, who also has two quads. That'll be interesting.
Lambiel, of course, winning the gold medal in Moscow after Plushenko withdrew with a groin injury. But the Swiss skater did have the lead before Plushenko made his announcement and was full value for his first World Championship gold medal, seeking here to win his first Grand Prix final gold in his very first attempt. He had a personal best in the short program. Now his marks in the free: 76.30 for technical elements, 74.20 in program components. That'll give him a score in the free skate of 149.50 and a total of 230.10. Another personal best for the world champion and the gold medal here in the Grand Prix final in Tokyo. So Lambiel salutes this capacity crowd as we look at the final standings. It's the Swiss skater first, Jeffrey Buttle, with a silver in the Grand Prix final to go with the silver he won at the World Championship, and Daisuke Takahashi winning bronze for the Japanese. Now let's join Lambiel with another championship medal.
Yeah, it's very nice. I was very happy to be here in Japan for the final, for my first final, and I won, so it's a great feeling I have now, and that's good for the next competition. And I mean, I had a good beginning of the season, and I'm building something very strong for the Olympics. It's very important, very important.
Stefan Lambiel building indeed towards the Olympic Winter Games coming up in a couple of months when we come back to Tokyo, the medal presentation in the men's program. Medal ceremonies underway here in Tokyo. Stefan Lambiel of Switzerland with his first ever Grand Prix gold medal in his first ever opportunity. What a year it's been for him after winning gold in March in Moscow. And similar symmetry for Canada's Jeffrey Buttle. Silver here in the Grand Prix final to go with the silver he won at the World Championships. Daisuke Takahashi of Japan winning his bronze medal. Outdueling Oda, his fellow countryman, for a place on the podium and taking the upper hand in the battle for the one Japanese berth at the Olympic Games.
For all of these men, the month or so leading up to the Olympic Games presents them with very different opportunities. For the European competitors, they still have the European Championships. That provides them with one more opportunity to skate in front of an international panel, whereas the likes of Jeff Buttle, Emanuel Sandhu, and the American skaters who weren't here, it's their national championships that give them that last skate opportunity. Little different environment.
And for Jeff Buttle, he did not accomplish what he set out to do here. Yes, he did get the silver medal, but what he needed to do was do a clean long program. He's going to have to go home before the national championships and maybe make some changes.
So there are the medalists in the men's competition. Lambiel for gold, Buttle for silver, and Takahashi for bronze. So after a slow start to the season, the reigning world champion Stefan Lambiel of Switzerland certainly found his groove in the Grand Prix final here in Tokyo. Canada's Jeffrey Buttle, a silver medal, good result, still with some work to be done though in his free skate. But there were some big names missing from this competition. The three-time world champion Evgeny Pashenko of Russia and former world silver medalist from France, Brian Joubert. So what does the complexion of the men's program look like going into Turin?
Well, for Stefan Lambiel, great to see that he's resolved the issues that he had with the boots early on in the season, because he looks to be